Hey y'all, welcome back to Video City. I'm sitting here with Sherman Demand. He's MC out of Chicago. So I guess let's start off by telling me a little bit about yourself. Are you born and raised in Chicago?
Born and raised in Chicago, 60644, moved to the 51, studio in the 37, all day Chicago.
Really? So how did you get into like rapping?
Um, I've always been a writer, and I was a twin. When I say was, because my twin was killed when I was 18, which was the catalyst behind the dream.
Okay.
Because I was always a writer, he was the rapper. He wanted to take what I write, go to the studio with it, and be the rapper, and I would be behind the scenes. But when he was killed, it was like either just let it die or take it over myself. So that's what I decided to do.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry to hear about your loss first and foremost, and then secondly, I guess because I read your bio and I did read that in your bio, and I guess I was wondering, like, a lot of people, I feel like in that situation would kind of like, let it die out and like let that situation go away. And I guess like what motivated you to keep doing it and like keep going in that direction, and I guess like pick up the ball.
Actually, I didn't think it was an option. I had to. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I started my early music. It was cutting edge. It was hard. It was, anger filled. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It was far different from what I'm doing now. A few years ago, 8 to 10 years ago, we was doing mixtapes around the city. Giordano mixtapes. We got all the way up to volume 2, 2.5, and it was like I was working with a lot of different artists. And when it came time to record the music, everybody was amped up and ready. Yeah, studio.
Right.
But on the back end of it, it was like a ghost town. Like, I'm like, man, anybody gonna help push the mixtape?
Okay, so
I'm
nobody,
thinking
right,
it's 20 people.
put muscle behind it. Everybody wanted to.
Everybody disappeared, and it was like that's when I really gave it up. I stopped for a couple years. But you know what they say: if you love something and you let it go, if it comes back,
If it come back, yeah.
it's meant to be. So. But this time I'm back with a message, with a purpose. I try to teach as well as entertain. Entertain secondly, teach first, because my daughter is really my number one fan. And she loves my music, so I can't. And anytime you rap about something, I feel you're co-signing it. Like, it's okay.
Right.
So I'm real careful with what I put in my music, because I know my kids listening.
Right.
So my music is the type of music you can put it in if your grandma get in the car, your mama get in the car, anybody get in the car. You don't have to worry about them being offended by any of my lyrics. But at the same time, it's good quality music. I'm not just selling it on the fact that it's clean. I'm selling good music that is clean.
Yeah, right. Cause I watched a couple of your videos, and they are very like conscious. It's not like just a lot of nonsense, that you hear, all over the radios nowadays. And I remember you just said that like before, a lot of your music was like anger filled and stuff. So like, was your daughter sort of like the catalyst to kind of like change that around and like change the message?
Yeah, definitely.
Nice.
Definitely.
Nice.
Because I understand how powerful music is. I understand how it can be a influence, a strong influence. And a lot of people say, well, they got killing and shooting in movies too, but your favorite movie, how many times you saw it? Maybe 5 or 6 times.
Right.
But you hearing these songs on the radio 5 or 6 times a day, it's steady drilling that message in. And the thing is, nowadays there is no balance. You know what I'm saying? Back in the days, we had the I Need Loves, we had to Keep Your Head Up, we had all that. Nowadays we don't have any of that.
Where is it?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm here to bring that, not taking away from anything anybody else is doing.
Right.
As an artist, because as an artist, I believe you should be able to express yourself the way you want to or you feel you need to. But what I'm saying is, I don't feel I need to express myself that way, and I just want to just bring a little balance back, because it's just going further and further to the left. Let's bring it back, sort of like balance it. I ain't knocking nobody else.
Yeah, and I really want to give you props too for actually like you being real and taking like responsibility and saying like, hey, I do got influence over like the young people that do listen to my music because I follow this one this other I'm not gonna say no names rapper on Instagram, and one of his pictures was him holding up a gun to the screen, and this was like right after the whole Trayvon Martin gun violence thing like got fresh out, and it was just a lot of him defending himself about, well, it's all on the parents, and I'm just doing me, and it wasn't a lot. Like I feel like he was really in denial about the level of influence that he had on his audience, and it was enough to make me unfollow him.
Mm.
And
Wow.
and not really, because I have kids too.
Mm.
I have a family, and I feel like anything that you put out for people to listen to and for people to share, there's always going to be somebody like looking up to you and feeding into it and listen to it. And I just kind of really want to give you props on that, because that's something that a lot of MCs don't do, because for whatever reason they feel it's corny or they feel it's whatever.
I touch on that very topic in my song Common Sense. One of the bars is, first off, killing is wrong. I know you only do it in songs. But what about the shorties who listen at home who want to be like you and think that's what you really be on? You know what I'm saying? They thinking this is real. So they emulate, they want to be like you, so they gonna do it for real.
Yeah.
That's what's happening, and it's just getting worse and worse now. It's like I heard somebody say the other day, Chief Keef bogus, he dead now. He going bad because he don't come to the hood no more. What? He rich. He ain't got the whole purpose of doing this is to get out the hood, not to stay there, get stuck up and killed. So I don't knock the man for what he doing. I think he's being advised maybe to do that, and that's good advice, I believe, because if you're an asset, why would you put yourself out there to the point to where you can get yourself killed or go back to jail or any of those things? So I believe it's a smart move, but a lot of his fans just think that's whatever they feel. I just feel that it's a good look. It's a good move. Like, that's the goal.
Exactly, that's the goal.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's to get out the hood.
And then make it better from the outside if you can, or go back and contribute. But your goal is not to stay there. Once you reach a certain level, you can't stay there. It's impossible for you to stay there.
It's right. It wouldn't be smart.
Right.
In my opinion, I don't know.
That's just the way of the world now. The culture of hip hop right now. It's really bang bang and heavy in the gun culture. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people think Chicago's bad now, but I grew up in the 90s. In the 90s, it was twice as worse.
Yeah.
It just wasn't no internet, so you can see it on the internet every day. But if you look at the statistics, the murder rate last year was 510, and in the 90s, it was no less than 700 every year in the 90s, and peaking at 969 in one year. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the game ain't changed. It's still the same, but if you got an influence and you got a platform, I think you should use it. And I think if you got a chance to change a life every day, you should do it. So whether it's people think it's corny or not, one thing about the truth, you know it when you hear it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You can't. There's a lot of people out there hear what I'm doing, they like what I'm doing, but they can't pretty much go with it because that's not what the popular thing is. But my thing is not what the popular thing is with me. It's how I feel I should. I think I got the obligation to reach out and try to teach as many people as possible, even if it's just changing my music specifically just because it was for my daughter. I ain't gonna say it was for her. She just opened my eyes to like, okay, she was rapping every song that I was doing word for word, and it was like, okay, so she's soaking this in. Let me feed her some game through it. You know what I'm saying? Let me teach her some lessons in life through this music, and she's gonna remember it and take it, because when you put it in songs, people remember it forever.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. That's beautiful. So we're about to play one of your videos right now. So tell us a little bit about it. Like, lead us into it a little bit.
Chicago Drama. I had the vision. I shoot and direct my own videos.
Nice.
So I had the direction visually before I even put it down on paper. So in a lot of my videos, I like that. I come up with a video concept, and then I write to what I see in my head, and then bring from what's in my head onto the video screen. So I just felt that night. Tommy played the beat. Tommy Skillfinger, shout out to Tommy, one of my great producers that I work with.
Nice.
Also an engineer at Sweet 41 Studio. Shout out to Sweet for letting us use the place. I believe I'm all off because I went into shooting, doing shout outs.
Oh no, Common Sense Video.
Oh.
Nope, Chicago Drama. There we go.
Yeah. It's actually a 2-part video. The second part wasn't even thought of when the first one ended. It's just drama. It's a Chicago drama. It's the tale that could be true and could be real, and that's what I think people like about it. Everybody who sees it said they felt like they were sitting in the movie. They were stuck. They wanted to see what was happening next. They were like, "Ooh, this like trapped in the closet. You gonna be another one?" No, it's not gonna be no more. We gonna stop it at 2. We gonna leave it like that.
There will be no part 47.
No.
Now, here's his video right here on Video City. Stay tuned. We got part 2 of the interview coming up. You don't want to miss this.
Check. Yo. He stands there with a pistol in hand. He grabbed the mask. Time to go out and get that cash. It's that bad. Leave the crib. Hopped in the car. He hooded up. I don't know how this could happen. He was good to us. See, he was a good kid. He did what he was told. Up until he was about 11 years old. That's when his daddy left. He walked right out his life without even saying goodbye. The middle of the night. Emotions got the best of him. The middle of a fight. Next thing you know, it's him and mommy. The middle, there's a knife. You know it can't end right. That's when it all went wrong. It ended with him leaving home with no clothes, no phone. Before long, Chad would see Killer packing heat. Cause daddy left him to be raised by the streets. Mama started doing drugs, so Shorty started stealing them. Mama started stealing dubs, Shorty started checking her. This time she took a whole bundle. That's 10 jabs, 13 dubs in each jab. You do the math. Now Shorty in for $2 grand. Cause out of every jab, 1 was his, 2 was the pack worthless, 10 was the man's. Check the shoebox. Damn, she emptied that too. Now he in deep doo-doo, thinking of what to do. Back to 4th bar. Now Shorty in the car, and he know his best resort is to go out and find his mom. Where she at? He running out of time. That block dry.
What? I hit the killer this morning with the supply.
I ain't calling you a lie, but these fiends trying to get high. And I ain't seen some killers since the middle of last night.
Alright.
Wait, that's him at the light.
If he ain't got my money or my merch, then that's his life.
And it's coincidental that I'm riding in the rental, low-key following him for blocks and he ain't even noticed me. He pulling into the alley, bruh. Hold on. Wait, what's up? What's going on? Shorty out here spazzing and he waving his gun around.
What's that sound?
Oh my mama, Shorty just killed his mama.
See if he got my money.
Man, that's y'all drama.
What you mean that's our drama?
Man, that's your dope.
Listen real close, Shorty, I'ma tell you how it's gonna go. Before you leave, you better have my bread. You ain't got my bread, Shorty better be dead. Shorty ain't dead, and you ain't got my bread, you might as well shoot your own self in the head.